This is where the fun begins.
Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose.
King Kong ain't got shit on me!
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Say my name.
And here we go.
What's going on, guys? Jesus, we had to figure out an intro, bro, because I'm so stuck.
Dude,
We're the show without intro.
That's our intro. Our intro is saying we have no real intro.
We have no real intro.
Yeah, I was thinking about that before. I was like, because it's kind of like, I'm Matt, and we go over to the next person, introduce yourselves, and then we just jump straight into it awkwardly. That's what we're gonna do again.
Yeah.
I'm Matt.
I'm Derrick. Welcome to a new episode of Realish. As you can see, we are this is gonna be a new format to the show a little bit. So we're gonna split up like entertainment news for one day of the week, and then feature presentation at a later day in the week. So you guys can kind of like have more of a digestible episode, and have something else to look forward to. This is going to be our entertainment segment, or episode, I should say. And we got a lot of stuff to get into. But before we get started, if you're watching on YouTube, that means if you're watching this on YouTube at all, that means you're on the OTS media channel. So if you could just click that like button, that subscribe, and notification button. You want to be able to get updated when we have things uploaded onto YouTube, and that'll also help us be able to get a little more recognition and get some more subscribers to the channel. I think I want to say we're close to like 330, 340, something like that, subscribers on YouTube now, and that's a big, that's a monumentous thing for me to even think about us getting that far, because when we first started, we couldn't get anyone to subscribe. So it's a great thing. So thank you guys out there for showing love. We will show love back to you all. But if you're listening to this on any podcast platform, please subscribe to the show, rate, review, let us know what you guys think. We would love to hear some feedback from you guys as to how you guys would like for us to do certain things, what you guys think, what we need to adjust, all that stuff. Just a little encouragement. You don't have to even be critical. You could just be some encouragement. Let us know how you guys feel about the show itself, and we appreciate that support most definitely. And this episode is also brought to you by Champ Number One Boxers. They are the best boxers that I've ever worn. It's for either working out or just regular day wear. They have stuff for men and women. And right now you can go into the link in our bio, go to Champ Boxers website through our link. Okay. If you do that, you're supporting two Black-owned businesses at the same time with just one purchase. Okay. So if you go to the link in our bio, grab something nice and comfortable for you, grab something for the champ in your life, whether you're a man or a woman, you will not regret it. I can't speak to how the women's stuff feels, but I'm pretty sure if it feels anything like what the men's boxers feel like, they're fantastic. So go ahead and get you something and show some love for us, please. This is the first sponsor that OTS has been able to get. So, we are excited to be working with them, and shout out to Champ Number One Boxers. All right.
Yeah, I gotta help you out with that intro. Buy that shit.
It's all it's all good, man.
No,
it's
seriously, 100%.
Yeah.
Literally, I actually have a few pairs of those boxers.
Yeah.
Literally the most comfortable attire you will ever wear. Like,
they are
100%.
They are
100%.
and I'm shocked because I didn't expect for them to feel the way they feel. I used to wear whatever from Walmart, or I graduated to Under Armour. And then it was just like, nah, this is I've got these, and it fit like a glove, a comfortable glove.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I we love the guys over there, and shout out to Champ Number One Boxers.
Yeah.
let's go ahead and get into it, man. We got a lot of news to discuss. What's on the docket for today?
Yeah. So, yeah, where do we start? Well, I mean, you know what? As everyone knows, we're huge Daredevil fanatics.
Oh
The
yes,
Netflix series, obviously, it's moved over to Disney Plus now,
yeah,
with parental guidelines and the like. Um, so not even 2 to 3 days ago, Variety broke the news that Disney Plus is in active development on the Daredevil series, which will be a follow up to the Echo series, releasing on the same platform. And actually, this sort of a bunch of conversations about whether or not Marvel can replicate the same quality, the same success as the original series, despite the return of Charlie Cox and I would assume a number of the other supporting cast. So I just want to get your insight on that. Do you think Marvel can pull off another Daredevil series, even though it's not like a strict continuation of the original DC seasons, or will it be yet another just another project under Disney's belt? If you catch my drift.
yeah. No, I have a feeling this is gonna be. It's a reboot because it's on Disney Plus and not Netflix, right? Like I'm expecting for the same intensity that we love with the Netflix series. I'm expecting that to be on here. Um, I'm pretty sure if Disney pays attention to what everybody loved about that series on Netflix, you and I've discussed it, right? It's the writing, it's the cinematography, it's the choreography. To me, as long as they keep those three things intact, I'm okay with however they take this the story. I'm okay with however they develop the Daredevil because when I saw him in No Way Home, man, I forgot he was even going to be in the movie. Like, or there was rumors of him being in the movie. So
Right.
when he showed up on screen, I made this noise. I don't know what it was, but just like pure shock that, that Daredevil is right next to Spider-Man, right? So, um, I'm expecting for them to be able to capture that same enthusiasm that the Netflix series had. I'm hoping they do, because if they don't, it's gonna really suck.
Yeah. There's I didn't get a chance to watch the video in full, but I watched part of a video from Jeremy Jans on YouTube, and he's basically covering sort of his thoughts on what Daredevil, you know, brings to the Marvel world, so to speak, or the true MCU.
Mhm.
And I agree with him in the sense of you look at a show such as Moon Knight, right, which we
Yeah.
expected to be this full blown psychological thriller, um, or just an attempt for Marvel to enter a more dark direction, so to speak. They
Mhm.
get a chance to really see characters who are known for being brutal, hyper violent, etc. Be in a more mature setting. Um, but I feel like whenever Marvel attempts to take those risks or sort of alludes to them wanting to,
Mhm.
they sort of resort to our typical Marvel formula. So whether it be excessive comedy, uh,
Yeah.
poorly written characters, ugly looking, unfinished VFX shots, or just
Yeah.
full or noticeable green screen as a whole. So
Mhm.
my concern is, Daredevil isn't a character you could water down, for his sake, right? I
Mhm.
understand
Mhm.
This is Disney Plus platform. You don't want, um, you know, there to be like this like heavy depictions of violence and so forth. But I mean, you put parental guidelines on there.
Mhm.
I think children, uh, at least I know certainly when I was growing up, I was exposed to like a number of like mature video games and so forth. But it's not like I was looking to like replicate what I saw on screen. That I was able to identify that's fiction. It's not
Mhm.
real.
Mhm.
This is me in real life, right? So
Right. Right. Right.
um, I don't know. I'm not fully convinced Marvel can pull off a Daredevil reboot,
Okay.
so to speak. Even if it's I'm assuming it's going to be the same, the Netflix version.
Mhm.
Because look at what they did. Because you watched Hawkeye, correct?
Yeah. Oh
What
yeah.
did you think of Kingpin in the show?
I thought he was fierce with his combat with Kate Bishop. Um, but he was how should I put this? I think he was more reserved, um, because he was trying to do something that was more sneaky, right? Like he was trying to be a little more unnoticed or whatever with his dealings. So I think that's why he was kind of quiet. Um, I'm actually expecting him to have that hard hitting, like whenever we see him on screen again. I'm expecting that ferocity that we remember from the Netflix version. um because I don't see how you can. There are three characters that are on there that need that ferociousness. It's Kingpin, it's Daredevil, and it's the Punisher. Um, I don't know if they're bringing Luke Cage back or not. If they are, then I would count him as well. But for the most part, those are the three that to me need that. They can't.
Jessica Jones as well. They
Jessica Jones too. Yeah,
given
yeah,
their names. Iron Fist. We don't talk about that.
yeah. Nah,
Actually, never mind.
he doesn't
Yeah,
exist.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
But you need to have that level of fierceness and rawness to the characters,
Yeah.
um, their storyline, and their fighting style, like, and the impact of the fight. Like, I don't want to see any pullback when it comes to graphics, right? Like, I don't want to see them like hold their punch, so to speak, when it comes to showing the gore of, because that's what Netflix did. Netflix showed you, like whatever happened with the Punisher, whenever he was shooting someone or fighting someone, like it felt real, right? Daredevil felt real. So I'm hoping they do that, and I'm hoping they actually bring Elektra back. Um, in this one, because I wanted to see her develop more on the series.
Yeah, yeah, certainly. And I think um sort of another point I was going to bring up is you look at just the MCU as a whole, and I hate being the yeah, I was gonna say like I love being the pessimistic one,
Mm,
just for the sake of being different. But in all seriousness, like I really don't like being like overly pessimistic because it makes it seem like I'm just unforgiving when it comes to like the smallest flaw.
mm-hmm,
I try to be open ended. I try to look for positives. I don't go into like a movie or TV show expecting a masterpiece. I just expect it to be good enough, right?
for sure.
But in terms of the MCU, it's becoming needlessly goofy. And you look at
Yeah,
Hawkeye, the way Kate Bishop, I don't want to say like overall, but to to give an example of that goofiness would be the finale of Hawkeye, where Kate Bishop like flicks his cufflink, and then that ignites like a huge like firework explosion, and then he gets bounced back with no physical
yeah,
like damage on him.
yeah,
Whereas you look at the finale of Daredevil season 3, where Matt or Daredevil, whichever way you want to refer to him, is savagely beating him with blood spewing all over the place onto the painting in the background.
yeah.
No scene, no Marvel film can possibly um like recreate that same intensity. It's
Right.
impossible. I think Daredevil just is an improbability for Marvel in the sense of nothing, in my opinion, can ever match that quality.
Are
Yet, you know,
are they confirmed to allow this to be an R rating?
As of yet, no. I'm suspecting it's going to be TV-14. That's the highest they'll go. You know.
Because I like, the thing that sucks about it is that everything they brought over from Netflix, nothing was changed, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's still that gore and fierce, viciousness. That's a better word. It's
Definitely.
that viciousness with the choreography and with the like shooting scenes and whatnot. Like that is still there. So, and I know they decided to put the parental lock and stuff like that on Disney Plus. So that's what's giving me hope that this is going to stay the same. Is they brought that over and didn't change anything to it, right? For Daredevil, Punisher, uh, Jessica Jones, like Luke Cage, those have that element to it. So I'm hoping that they just like lean into it, like okay, let's just pick up where it left off.
Yeah.
If they just pick up where it left off, I'm fine with how they want to tell the story, but I want the transition to be seamless.
Yeah.
I don't want it to feel like I'm watching this on Disney Plus. I want it to feel like I'm still watching on Netflix.
Oh,
You know what I'm
absolutely,
saying? So
absolutely.
if they do that, I'm like, it's perfect. Now I would assume the movies won't have that intensity to them,
Y-
right?
Yeah,
I'm assuming that, and I'm okay with that, because
yeah,
if you're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
bring Deadpool over, that's another character that if they're bringing over needs to have that R rating, because we can't have Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool holding back on jokes, holding back on violence. Like, he needs to be let go. That's what everyone wants to see. We don't want to see cookie cutter Deadpool. I don't want to see that. So if they're gonna end up doing that with Deadpool, I put it like this: if they're gonna end up doing that with Daredevil, I don't want to see Deadpool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to say Deadpool 3 will stay R-rated because I think Kevin Feige or just another executive confirmed that they had no intention of like switching up the rating, which is relieving to hear. So at
Yes.
least Disney and company are you know are sort of optimistic in that character, that franchise being successful.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it may not be as successful as say their traditional like PG-13
Yep.
films. So yeah, I think you pose plenty of valid concerns. Um, I am incredibly nervous. I think the Daredevil series as well has attached two writers
Mm-hmm.
who I will provide you the names of as well as their respective projects. So not to worry you even more, but if you just give me
Okay.
this one moment, I apologize, folks.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah. So the two individuals are Matt Corman and Chris Ord. And now, just out of sheer curiosity, right? Because I did say I was going to mention. Let's see what Matt Corman has written in his career. So he has written, according to his IMDb page,
Mm.
Covert Affairs, Deck the Halls, The Brave, and The Enemy Within. That is all.
Okay.
We look at the gentleman Chris Ord. Chris Ord. He is also attached to the same projects. And let's see how Deck the Halls did. 6% on Rotten Tomatoes, released back in 2006. Now, I do not like using Rotten Tomatoes um, to have an opinion, right? But
I,
you know, they could have selected better writers. And if you bring
yeah.
back the season one writer, a season one writer, and the season three writer from Daredevil to the Echo series, why would you not even consider bringing back a Stephen the Knight, I believe his last name is, from he was a showrunner season three. Why not
Mm.
bring him back as at least an executive producer or
Something.
or an official screenwriter?
Something.
Where
I can't
Disney's
see it,
priorities lie is beyond me, but
because
yeah.
Covert Affairs, I never watched it, but it was a USA Network show, and from the shows that I did watch on USA Network,
Not impressed.
I'm no, no,
Yeah.
I didn't continue watching. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
um, so hopefully they assemble a team that knows what they're doing, because those are some big shoes to fill with Daredevil. Those are
Yeah.
huge shoes to fill, and if you're not able to fill them as a writer, you better move on, man. Yeah, like because no one is gonna want to see this. No one's gonna want to see this messed up. Like we want to see it have that same level of intensity on every level that we are used to with the Netflix series.
Yeah. And I'm also nervous as well. Sorry, not to add more fuel to the fire, so to speak. But he's supposed to he being Daredevil was supposed to appear in She-Hulk. Um, I
Okay,
did
that kind
catch
of makes sense because of the
I
lawyer.
did catch a wind of how they're going to incorporate him.
Okay.
It's very weird. I'll keep it like that because I know you're not the kind of person who wants to hear spoilers. I know you purposely avoid trailers, so
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
if it's true, um, I, I can assuredly say that it would make me more nervous than I already am for that series. I'll leave it like that. I'll leave it like that. But then again, there's only a cameo, right? So maybe it's not a reflection of how his character will behave in his own series. It's just, you know, I'm not sure those tones mesh well. I'll leave it like that. Leave it like that.
Yeah, now I'm more nervous than I was before we started this conversation.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh boy. All right. That's disgusting.
uh, yeah.
Oh man.
If only you
Okay.
knew.
Well, let's just pray that everything works out and they don't mess this up because the cameo that we did see on No Way Home, he seemed to still be that snarky guy that
Yeah.
that witty guy. So I'm hoping that they don't change anything. I want the same cane, glasses. I want the same suit. Like I want the same characters that were in the Netflix series. I want everything. I want it to feel the exact same thing, exact same way. That's it.
Are you a yellow suit guy?
The yellow suit.
Yeah, are you what I mean by that is like are you a fan
Oh,
of that yeah, like a yellow suit guy, like are you a fan of that costume from the comics or
nah. I mean, not that I hate it or anything like that. I'm just used to Daredevil being in that red crimson blood suit. Like
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
what
I
I
gotcha.
remember Daredevil being. And I know people like even got down on the Ben Affleck version of Daredevil, but I actually thought that was really good.
Daredevil version? I never watched it,
I thought it
so
was good. I mean it was corny in certain areas because I mean it's Ben Affleck, right? So it might an early Ben Affleck versus older Ben Affleck. Early Ben Affleck was corny. So it's not it's not something that we can kind of really avoid, but
yeah.
I thought it was I liked it. I've watched that movie multiple times now, and I've heard a lot of people get down on it. But yeah, Charlie Cox's version of Daredevil is just supreme. It's supreme. Better mask, better suit, better choreography, better writing, better environment, better opposition. It's just better on all levels. So um don't don't screw this up. Kevin Feige better know what it is that we want to see. If he doesn't know what we want to see, then
I'm willing, listen.
leave it alone.
uh, Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
rather not see a continuation than for them to mess this up. You know what I'm saying? Um,
I'll just act like it's not canon. Like if it turned out to be awful, I'll just say it's not canon.
I actually did that with the Matrix, bro.
Oh, that is a good segue.
Yeah.
Actually, because I know you're obviously right before we started recording, you were telling me about I think Screen Rant or right, you said Screen Rant was like
Yeah.
posted this like is Matrix 5 like basically like is make the Matrix 5 a possibility or whatever the hell it's going to be called.
Yeah. Yeah.
As someone who's watched all the films, I've only seen the original. Uh, do you want that, or do you just want the franchise to fade away from existence and never return again? I only say that as harshly as it is because I know a lot of people dislike Resurrections.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think they were at least 15 years too late for Resurrections, to be completely honest.
mm,
I
yeah,
thought that they completely missed their window, their timing on that one. Um, but I will say, had they just like brought in the stunt coordinators from John Wick, visually it'll look even much better than it was. It just Keanu Reeves was showing his age, which he doesn't show his age in John Wick. So that tells me something, right? Uh Carrie Ann Moss, same thing. She was showing her age a little bit. And I'm convinced if they had her, if they matched everybody from John Wick onto this project, that wouldn't have been a thing. We wouldn't have been seeing that because Halle Berry
Wow.
is like the same age as Carrie Ann Moss, if I'm not mistaken, and she was on the last John Wick film and looked phenomenal. They're
Wow.
talking about her doing a spinoff from her character on John Wick. So um I think we were a little too late for the fourth what the hell is that? For the fourth installment. But if they come out with a fifth one, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be upset, but I want to see them take it into a different direction. I want to see Neo and Trinity assume that Morpheus role where they're the ones that's guiding and training the next one, right? I want to see that. Um to where they're a supporting character, they're not the star. If they're the supporting character, it'll feel much better than just, like we're centered on them. Um I felt like the fourth one kind of took away from what I loved about the whole trilogy.
Yeah, I think that is the worst comment you can ever say about a movie is its sole existence ruins what
Yeah.
came prior. Yeah,
Yeah. Cause like I
that's
even
rough.
went back and watched the trilogy after watching the fourth one. And before I watched the fourth one, and I think after I watched the fourth one, I rewatched the trilogy again. And
Your perception probably
it
changed
didn't
entirely, I'm
feel the
assuming, right?
same. It didn't feel the same, man. And if I had to actually ignore the fourth one in terms of like they start explaining like the how and why and all this the stuff of the Matrix itself, and trying to like break down the Matrix to like this foundation. Like that's the theme of the film. It's like they're just trying to break it down to the foundation of it. And I don't like how they said that the Matrix was established. I don't like that. I don't like that because they've already given us an example of how this whole thing started, right? Um,
Referring to resurrections, like giving like an alternate
they kind of they
explanation.
kind they kind of gave. It was weird. It was just weird. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it was just weird. It was different. It wasn't what I like had in mind. If they had just continued from the trilogy, I'd have been perfectly fine with it.
Yeah, there's someone said to me, and well, this is sort of what I took away from it. So he basically said something along the lines of like everything is fake, and someone and like I think mentioned like Trinity became the one. Um, like I said, I hadn't watched like the original Matrix at that point, so I didn't understand what the significance was. So my question to you would be: is Matrix Resurrections like the Truman Show meets Matrix, basically? Is that like an accurate description?
That's a very very nice way to put it. That's interesting. Yeah. I put it like
Like that.
this: it
Yeah.
was a money grab from Warner Brothers. That's what it was.
Which is
And you can
yeah.
tell when it's a money grab, right? Like you had a dedicated fan base to this trilogy. I mean, and people kind of like get down on the second and third one, right? They kind of or more so the third one than the second one, but they really do trash those two films a lot. And I loved all three. I absolutely love all three for different reasons. I think especially if you watched all three together, like if you watch the first one, then you go into the second one, and then you go into the third one, even if it's over the course of a weekend, it feels different. Like it's just amazing to me. It's amazing. Like the Matrix, the first Matrix is what actually got me into media production. Like what made me want to be a filmmaker, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of
So
especially your generation too. I think a lot
yeah,
of you know aspiring filmmakers were, aspired to be who they were because of, the Wachowski sisters.
Yeah, and I appreciate them for putting this movie out because this is what, like, trying to put it into words, man. Like, this is, I hold this trilogy dear to my heart. So I had very high expectations for the fourth one. And I was sitting there and I'm watching it and I was like, please don't do it this way. Please don't do, and they kept going and I'm just like, and I had no choice but to finish watching it. I was hurt, man. I was hurt because I was hyped. It's like since they announced this movie was coming out, I was hyped, right? I've been hyped since the rumors came out years ago of them possibly coming out with this one. So you take up years of hype and anticipation and put it into that moment where you can finally hit play, and you're sitting here and you're just like,
dude. I mean, I was hyped, and I had to watch the original trilogy. Like those the first trailer was really good.
Amazing.
I was like,
it's amazing.
Wait, and this seems like such an interesting, like, film. But again, I had to watch, because I didn't even realize, like, apparently, Neil dies in the third movie. So I had no recollection of that. So I just watched. I figured that maybe they were just, well, when I found out after the fact, I thought, oh, maybe, like he wasn't dead his entire time. They put like the machines or whatever, like put him under like a coma, to keep him under control or whatever. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's all I can say.
it
I'm
sucks,
sorry.
man. But if they decide to come out with the fifth one, they need to go into the direction that the fourth one should have gone into. If they do that, they redeem themselves. But to be completely honest, I only one of the Wachowski sisters was doing this film. Both didn't do it.
It was Lily, right? Is it
I
Lily
think
Wachowski?
so. I can't remember which one. It may have been Lily, but I know one wasn't on this project, and you need both of them to be on the project. Because it just is. And I know Keanu Reeves came out and was actually critical of the film when the fourth one, when like before it even came out. He said something that kind of made me like, he said something to the effect of like it was rushed. Production was like rushed and it didn't feel like the Matrix. So for the star to come out and say that, right? Like, or something to the effect of is very interesting.
Yeah. Oh, it's sort of another question I have for you too, because like someone like a close friend of mine like made a joke or whatever. They said um like I think Neil Patrick Harris was in the movie, and there's a point where like he said like bullet time, yeah, I freeze time or something. So and then my friend went on a whole like spiel that this whole spiel. Does the movie become like overly meta?
Yeah, it's like,
I know it kind of requires a lot of like, absolutely, here's like this, like I guess I don't know if he was exaggerating or
no, he wasn't exaggerating. That's exactly what happened.
Wait, really? Like he just said like
that
bullet time and then like explains it. Oh Jesus! Okay.
I was so thrown off. Like, why are we doing this? Like, you know what it felt like? It felt like I was watching a 2-hour Saturday Night Live skit. I put it like that because it's like it's so outrageous. It's like, why would what? Like they leaned real heavy into nostalgia.
Oh my God.
They leaned
that's a good one.
extremely. You're good, man.
I had that threw me off.
They leaned real heavy into nostalgia, and I don't like that. because they expected nostalgia to carry the film, and you didn't need that. Like it was nostalgic in and of itself of just hearing the Matrix like theme, right? Or like seeing the code, like that was nostalgic.
Yeah.
Seeing Neo, like that's nostalgic. But you don't even bring Lawrence Fishburne back as Morpheus.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice.
So like, I like the explanation for that was just I don't know. I don't
Well,
know. I can't watch it again. I'll put it like that. I don't know that I actually will ever watch that fourth one again.
yeah,
The
I
only
can
way
think
I
of
will is if they come out with the fifth one, both Wachowskis are on it, and it feels like the Matrix. Like if they like they do just do that, I'm good. I don't need you to come out and act like this is 1999 again. We don't need to do that. We don't look. Come on, for what? You know what I'm saying? Like we're not going through the and they basically
yeah.
started the Matrix over again.
Oh god, they did that to like geez.
Which technically is supposed to happen, but the same story is what's like I don't know. They just kind of like went back in time, tried to retell, and I don't want to see
Yeah,
that. I don't
that's
want to
my
see that.
friend told me. My friend told me it was like um yeah, yeah, that's exactly what he was saying. He said it became meta. He said like he was laughing at the scene where like I said, like Neil Patrick Harris was like saying like bullet time. Like he said it like that or something. And then he was basically like explaining it for whatever reason. He was like bullet time. Yeah, I didn't know about this technique or something. I forgot what he said.
It was
But
disgusting.
what my friend said, he was just like he didn't want to remember it, so I think he was just trying to like
It's one of those
you
things
know
you want to
suppress
put
his
out your
pain.
head.
Yeah.
It's one of those things you just don't want to remember. It's disgusting, honestly. I think it
Oh
was
yeah,
a waste of
mercy.
it was a waste of time. It was a waste of time, waste of money. Like if they're gonna do it the right way. If you're not gonna do it the right way, don't do it at all.
Right,
That's how I look at things. If you're not
right.
gonna do things the right way, just don't do it at all. You're better off not doing it.
Yeah. So in case you're wondering, viewers who are watching, Dare recommends the movie. He thinks it's the best in the franchise. Go out, watch Matrix Resurrections on HBO Max, streaming now.
Hey
Uh,
man, I almost rather watch Euphoria again
yeah. Listen, I mean,
before
I
I
can,
watch The
I
Matrix Resurrections
yeah,
again.
yeah, yeah. I
I
can
I
compare
would
it with that.
I
So
would actually do that. I would actually watch that at least a couple episodes before I even think about putting the Resurrections on again.
listen. Well, you make up for what was it, like 2.5 hours worth of Matrix Resurrections. You make up in 2.5 hours of Euphoria episodes. So you know, Gateway did the entire first 2 seasons.
I
I'm
put
sorry.
this whole disappointment out of my head, bro. So
Yeah,
if
yeah,
if they are actually, because I know Screen Rant, excuse me, just released this article today, but if uh if they decide to come out with this fifth one, they need to do it the right way. If they're not going to do it, no one really wants to see it. This is just it's an embarrassment to what the trilogy was. I'm gonna put it like that. It does not compare.
yeah, yeah. I think
So,
it's in need of the fast treatment.
bro,
You know, you gotta go. Listen, do time travel, space, evolve this franchise, making it entertaining at that point. Because what you make up for in a
oh,
lack of creative writing, or not even creative. Actually, I mean that is creative writing. We do time travel in space, but I don't know. I don't know anymore. You know, I'm listening to you and I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed for you that you had to watch Matrix Resurrections.
bro,
Um,
they
you
didn't even
know,
have Hugo Weaving as Agent Smith in this one either.
yeah. Didn't they replace him by
Some
the guy
young
from
white guy.
Frozen or the guy
I
from
I don't know where he's
Hamilton?
from. Yeah, I don't know where I didn't know where he was from.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's
they
what my
just
friend was
replaced
telling
him.
me. It was like he kept calling him King George. I think he played like King George in Hamilton. I want to say he played King George in Hamilton. Yeah, he played King George in Hamilton.
That's hilarious.
So like he could call you King George or something to help him. Yes.
It didn't feel the same. So the fight scenes between Neo and Agent Smith just they didn't hit, bro.
Were they like sharply edited? Like were they just like regular 2000?
It was
Like
wait,
a lot
in
of
terms
like
of the graphics.
I'm talking about like the fight scenes you're referring to. Were they like a lot of like cuts or whatever? Like every 5 seconds there'd be like a cut or something, or were they?
No, I mean, not. I wouldn't say everyone. I think a couple of punches were, but not the majority was shot the same way the Matrix was shot in terms of combat. So you have your wide shot, you have your close shot, um, but it's because of that I did not believe Keanu Reeves because they do a phenomenal job of hiding his age on John Wick, right? And those John Wick films are phenomenal with fight choreography. The way they block, the scene, the way they shoot the action, it's phenomenal. And it doesn't look like Keanu is like, well, I think he's like mid-50s now. It doesn't look like that. In the Matrix, it looks like that. Or the Matrix Resurrections, it looks like that. And that's disappointing. So when you have a guy that's like mid-50s, close to 60s, battling a younger Agent Smith, that doesn't even make sense. I'll put it like that. It doesn't make sense. So, you know, they gotta do better. I need both Wachowski sisters on the next project if they're gonna do it.
I'm actually kind of in a weird way. I know this is going to sound insanely weird, but I'm actually compelled to watch the rest of the Matrix movies.
You should
just to see,
you should. The
where
second one,
just so I can sort of to further understand where you lie. Because for me, like, I don't know how Resurrections ruin. Like you can tell me, but I sort of want to have that experience myself to say
you should.
I absolutely agree with you 100%. And I'm gonna say it because I told you a bit right before we recorded. I'm gonna say it. I don't think Matrix is that good of a movie. God rest my soul. You can hate me all you want. You're probably gonna use it as a promo clip. You could use it as a promo clip. I'm gonna see all the kind of comments saying, "Oh wow, you don't like classic movies." I'm not saying I don't like classic movies. I'm just thinking The Matrix is not that good of a movie. It's okay. That's it. It's not terrible. It's not, like the best thing I've ever watched. Man. It is just straight. It is fine. There's nothing spectacular about it other than the actual action sequences. It's over. That's all I'm gonna say. You can hate me. You can kick me out the podcast. You're probably gonna kick me out the podcast. You do what you gotta do.
Because if I did that, we would have a show.
Yeah.
Oh man, no, I
That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna stay humble. I'm gonna stay humble. I'm sorry. I had to say it. I can't.
I will say I think part of it you have to like you had to watch it when it came out to feel the impact of the first one. Now the second and third one are more updated in terms of technology and graphics and stuff like that. So it will hit different for you.
That's a fair point.
It's phenomenal. But yeah, the first one, I think that may have been shot like 96, 97.
Yeah, it came out in 99.
So yeah, by the time I got to watch it, I want to say I was maybe 11. Like my dad had it on my parents had it on VHS, and I would ask my dad because he would have it on his dresser, right? And I'm like, yo, can I watch this? Because the cover just looked cool. Like it was something I had never seen anything like that before. So I'm like, can I watch this? No. So I just kept asking him over and over and over for like a year. Yo, can I watch this now? Because they didn't let us watch anything that had any violence in it. So my dad finally said, like, I think this had to be like 01. He's like, yeah, go ahead and watch it. Go ahead. and I will never forget. It was a Saturday afternoon, man. I ran to my room, put in my VCR, and I'm dating myself like hell right now. But I put in my VCR, and I'm sitting there, and I'm glued to the TV. I'm absolutely glued to the TV. I know choreography and lines to this day. Okay, like that's how many times I watched the first one. And then that was the same way with the second one. I've watched the first one maybe close to like, God, that I may have seen it maybe close to around like 25, 30 times already.
Yeah.
Maybe more. I don't
No, that's
know.
fair.
I've
That's
I've
100%
lost
fair.
I've lost track because that's been since 2001. I've watched that movie so many times. I couldn't tell you. I watch it at least once a year. So it's that's my series. That's my trilogy. That's my trilogy.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, I would suggest watching the second and third one because they get better. Like they get better. They get better.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think definitely at some point I'll probably look to watch the rest of the Matrix films. Um, yeah, that's sort of where I lie, because like I said, I didn't experience it at an age where I was, like first discovering, movies
Yeah.
in general. So it was
Yeah.
kind of just one of those things where, I was simply bored one day and sort of wanted to expose myself to, because it was actually last summer. I watched it when it's been
Okay.
close to a year at this point. So
Yeah.
I sort of wanted to, might as well take the opportunity. So I'm not really doing much in the way of, school for obvious
Yeah.
reasons and all that.
Yeah.
So I said,
Yeah.
I'll put on the Matrix, and like I said, it was okay. It was fine. Like I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was just one of those things where like I can't call it a masterpiece when
I feel that.
I didn't it didn't have like a resonating effect with me. Like I didn't have like a sudden urge to watch the rest of the trilogy,
I feel that.
um, and all that. So you
I
know,
feel that. Yeah, man.
yeah.
I would definitely suggest watching the second and third one. I think you would enjoy it. The fourth one,
God have mercy on my soul.
God be with you. Yeah, because I don't know what the hell to say. that that was
Bullet
just
time.
embarrassing. Yeah. That's probably gonna be that would be a great episode name. Bullet time.
Yeah, that's bullet time. Yeah, I feel I still don't think that's real. I don't know. Like I was with my friend. There's no way that he says that in the movie. Like he just says straight up bullet time. I'm like,
I
that's so
don't even know why
stupid.
he was in the movie, to be completely honest.
Oh wow. Yeah, because I
Like
know like
I thought I knew what he was going to be doing, and then the more I'm watching it, I'm just like, this is not what I thought his role was going to be. Like I
yeah
love
yeah
Neil Patrick Harris, man. I love him. He's
yeah yeah
hilarious.
yeah. Yeah.
Comedy is not what this movie needs.
Yeah, it was just like
You see what I'm saying?
yeah, 100%. It was like because my friend kept telling me, he's like, bro, like I'm not messing around with you. He literally like straight up says bullet time,
It's
and
like
I was like,
it's like a comic book that's just like horribly written.
yeah. All I need is like
You know
the
what
air
I'm saying?
bubbles, like
The
the air
air
bubbles
bubbles.
of floating text.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
was
don't.
like, that's not true. I was like, listen, I mean, because I think I said to him, like the trailer looks really good. Um, but like I said, I don't think did I watch? I don't remember when the trailer came out. Maybe I'm like mixing my chronology or something. But I know for a fact like when the trailer came out, I said, wow, this looks good. No, I definitely didn't watch. I didn't watch any of the major movies at the point. I said this looks really good.
Mhm.
So I wanted to watch the trilogy, but I sort of fell back from it. I was kind of like in the midst of doing other stuff, and then the movie comes out. My friend watches it, and then he said like, "Wow, this is like one of the worst movies I've ever seen." I'm like, "Right, that's cap. Like, are you serious?" Like, I thought he was like exaggerating. I was like, "No, bro. Like, that single handedly made me hate the Matrix." I was like,
Like
"What?"
my dad asked me about it because I watched it before him. He was like, "What did you think?" And I'm just, that ain't it, man. That's all I can
Yeah,
say. That ain't it.
I was like,
I was
yeah, I was
speechless.
like, I'm sorry. I was
I
like,
was speechless because I actually I waited. I got off work and I made my dinner and I sit down, to watch the Matrix Resurrections. Man, I'm sitting here, my lights are off. I'm just chilling. I'm hyped up. Right, hit play. 5 minutes go by. I'm like, okay, cool. All right. 10 minutes go by. 12, 15. I'm like, God, dog, man, they are not doing this. And I was like, man, maybe they're just like, let me just keep watching. Let me keep watching. 45 minutes go by.
That's how I felt. That's how I felt with Fast Nine. So
That must hurt.
I watched the first hour of Fast Nine.
Did you? It was trash, wasn't it?
Like that famous clip of like Dwayne Rock Johnson. He was like, man, I heard it. That was probably like the single like biggest piece of dog shit I've ever heard. Like that's literally how I felt. Like I watched the first hour only,
Yeah.
and I was amazed by how stupid and just outright terrible it was. The pacing is so slow, and the first act, I knew this movie was gonna be something. When this is from the trailers anyway, so I knew like the movie's gonna be awful anyways. Where like Dom, like looks at Letty, and he said, and he pops like the nitro, and he pops the nitro in his car. He drives over to a broken bridge, and then connects the car to rope, and then somehow gravity like flings him across this ocean to like this mountain, and then the car is rolling over constantly, and Letty and Dom have no scratches on them.
They
But
just got
prior
out
to
like
that,
they just tripped down.
yeah. And then prior to that,
living room.
yeah, 100%. And then prior to that, all the other guys or whatever is like Tez, Tyrese. I don't even know his like character. I call him Tyrese because he can't act. All he does is say a bunch of like funny lines, and then that's it. So easy payday for him. But this man, these people, like they drive to that same bridge before, and then it's collapsing. So you really see like the cars like this, and then the bridge is like this. So gravity exists. So you think naturally like there's no way like no matter how fast you rev up, you're gonna fall straight down and you plummet to your death. But somehow they accelerate so fast with the bridge collapsing that they manage to fling upward and then land upright. I'm not joking around. That's what happens in this movie.
Yeah.
And then there's another scene too, in like they're basically like on this island or whatever. And then this honestly seems like I'm on like hard drugs or something. Like like I said, I don't like using that term out like the rhetoric or anything, but like the way I'm speaking, it sounds like I'm on something. I'm not on something. This is me like literally this
Explaining
is what
this
happens.
Yeah.
And then at one point, like lays on his bike because he steals like this like random device from a plane, and then she like gets like flung over by a car, and then she somehow like lands like on top of Dom's car after catching her, and she has like no broken bones, no concussion, anything. And there's another scene before that where like Tyrese is getting like shot at, like literally people are surrounding him, shooting him with bullets, and this man somehow survives, and he literally does like a full 360 on the people above him and the people below him, and none of them landed a single headshot, and he just survived.
None of that made any sense to me. But it's Universal Studios, man. It's Universal Studios, and it's fast. It's fast. It's Fast series. That like there's literally that's the only explanation you put.
I just want to first of all apologize to you, apologize to viewers. I'm not mean to go off on that tangent. Obviously I know I have a tendency to bring up fast, but like I watched it for the first time, I thought like, yeah.
Bro.
So we're probably going over. I apologize.
You good, man?
As I'm gonna say, that's the kind of movie you're going into. I can't wait to watch the rest. I want to see like I said, I want to see them go to space, and I want to see them time travel. You do that, successful franchise. So
yeah, they should time travel to back when dinosaurs existed, and then we watch them drive up the back of a T-Rex or something. They should do something like that
with family.
At this point, why not? Anything goes. I wouldn't even be surprised if we actually see them time travel so fast that they actually get to heaven and start drag racing on the streets of gold. Like it would be hilarious if we see that, and then God is just cheering them on in the stands or something. Like let's go ahead. Let's go extreme. Go extreme.
I was thinking like they could do like a crossover, right? Where like Dom is inside, like he's in a flying car, and he's flying next to Iron Man, and he looks at him, puts like his shoulder like right in the door, and he says, "You don't mess with family." And then like they charge over to like Galactus or something, and then like him and his family like they start like charging at him with like football missiles, and then like they kill Galactus, and then like Dom's like plummeting to his death or whatever. The car explodes. Everyone starts like crying, like, "Oh my God, Dom's dead!" And then he escapes the wreckage somehow. Like he was like a millisecond away from dying, and he walks away with like no scratch on his body. And he's like,
Yeah.
"I come back because it's for family."
Yeah.
And then that's it. The end like that. I think that's the ultimate way to go.
Family is strong enough
Yeah.
to break anything, including death. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the franchise.
There you
That's the
go.
franchise of the
There you
20th
go.
century, 21st century, whatever. I don't even know what century we're in anymore. That whole franchise is a joke. Alrighty.
Oh man.
Man, but was there any other interesting entertainment news that came out, or was that about it for
That's about it for today,
today?
man. I can't think of anything else that happened this week that's worth talking about right now. But yeah, this has been great. This has been great. I didn't expect it to laugh
Yeah,
about this stuff
no,
like
I
this.
didn't think we talk about Matrix Resurrections and then somehow tie it to Fast. We'll always find a way. I think that would be like our new theme. Like we
Yeah,
find a way to bring Fast into the conversation.
somehow, some way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But all right, man. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. We will catch you guys later this week with the feature presentation. This week we have the 2009 film Avatar, James Cameron's film. We're anticipating the sequel, so we definitely wanted to get into that. So check it out later this week. We will catch you guys then, and appreciate you guys for watching and or listening. See you later.
Yep. Peace out, guys. Thank you for support.